All right, what is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we have a different sort of video for today. As you know, we're sponsored by Body Art Nutrition, so we got the man himself, Isaiah. He's here to talk about Body Art Nutrition to us.
What's going on, guys? Happy to be here.
Yeah, great to have you. I mean, you've been a part of this for a while now. I think it's about time we got you on the channel to talk about it, because obviously you guys run a pretty decently sized company, and you guys still growing, expand to us, reached out to us a while back. So we're just here to chat about the company.
Yeah, for sure. I guess a little bit about Body Art Nutrition. It was actually founded in 2015 by my strength and conditioning coach when I was in college. I played football and ran track in college at Minnesota State University, Mankato. I would have been a junior at the time when his name's Tommy. He launched a protein product, his whey protein, chocolate flavor, and he ran that for about 4 years. Just one product, chocolate protein, and was selling it pretty much heavily to the athletes on campus. I think one spot in town sold it. It was very small business, local owned, obviously, and the local sales is kind of what he focused on. Then in 2019, discontinued the product, discontinued the brand altogether. Basically came out and said, hey, when the inventory is gone, like that's the last of Body Art. So that would have been the year after I graduated college. Basically, being a full-time strength coach, having a family at home, just really didn't have any desire to keep putting time, energy, money into the company. And so I just kind of dissolved it there. A lot of Mankato was pretty hurt about it because it was a growing and popular supplement. It was trustworthy because the strength and conditioning coach created the formula. Minnesota State's obviously a pretty well-known Division II school at the national level. And all the athletes were sad because they're like, hey, that was our protein we've been taking for however many years. So I knew I wanted to keep taking Body Art, and I knew it was gone. It was just kind of like, this kind of sucks, So years went by, and I was thinking about Body Art and wanting it to come back, and never really thought of myself being the one to bring it back. I also own a bar here in town, and that's kind of given me some more confidence and obviously financial stability to kind of take that level and take that leap to reaching out to him. So I did this past summer, and he was all about it. And so I took over the company, relaunched the protein with the exact same formula, just added a flavor. We have chocolate peanut butter as well as chocolate. And then also got into pre-workout right away, started working on a formula almost immediately. And we just launched our 2 flavors of pre-workout in pink lemonade and strawberry daiquiri.
Yeah, so you guys have done a lot in a short period of time after taking it over. So just I know you guys have reached out to a lot of athletes, and I'm not sure if we're the only brand you guys reach out to, but you can talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I knew right away that I wanted to run things a little bit differently. I knew right away that I wanted to be a brand that was known nationwide, something that I feel we can implement into the supplement area, into the athletics industry, and just kind of give people just a brand that they can trust, and a brand that kind of shows the behind the scenes, shows what goes into the product, shows how things are being built per se. And so right away, once the NIL deals came out, I knew that was going to be something that was not necessarily easy for me, but something that I knew right away I wanted to jump on. Being that I am a former student athlete, and I still currently live in Mankato, so I have ties to the university. I still know a lot of the athletes that are competing on campus. I knew right away I got to reach out to people that I know, the more social media active athletes that I see on campus, and just kind of get them on board. And so right away, I would say in like the first few weeks of officially taking over Body Art, I signed like probably 30 athletes between MSU and the conference that we compete in, the Northern Sun. And then from there, that just kind of took fire. People are sharing it. People are posting about it. And so daily I'm getting DMs either personally or through Body Art about people wanting to join the team. And just trying to navigate, who do we let in, who do we wait on, trying to make sure that the people that we do work with are people that are actually going to promote the product, people who actually take the product, and then also individuals that I believe in, obviously. And it's been fun. You guys are the only, business or platform or, media type partnership that I have. And I never really necessarily thought about it. I knew that I wanted to sponsor a podcast at some point, but it was kind of like trying to find the right one, the right people. You don't want to just like sponsor any old podcast just because. I definitely want it to be, somehow sports related or fitness related. And so honestly, the way that this organically came up was perfect. And yeah, so far, we've been working on some stuff behind the scenes and trying to iron out some kinks and making sure that we're doing things to kind of benefit each other. And I think it's going to be something really good for both of us.
Yeah, man. I mean, obviously, we talked a lot, me and you, before we really made it like official, because I wanted to make sure that, you fully know that this is a company that's run by two 19-year-old kids.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like a lot of businesses are scared of when they, to commit to, like I said, it's two 19-year-old guys, but, I think we definitely talked a lot, and, we're in this for the long run. This is our long-term goal. And, we plan on doing this for as long as we can, really, as long as, we keep growing at the rate we are. I mean, in the next couple of years, you're really going to see this take off. And we feel the same way about you and, your company and your product in the next few years. You're going to be selling out, your stock will be sold,
Right.
It'll be insane. So, I think we definitely made that, knowing that we're both in this for the long run, you supporting us, supporting you. So I think that was big for us, was to find a company that would, trust us to, promote them as well. So, I mean, yeah, it's been good so far.
Yeah, man. That's my
All right. So, if you just want to talk a little bit about, I know, anyone who follows you on Instagram, you saw, you guys got a crew of people now that, I saw you guys did the nice little photo shoot. Y'all looked really good. Your brother is an absolutely fabulous photographer. So, I mean, if you want to touch a little bit, give him a little shout out, tell everybody, what he does for you guys.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely go check out the Swoleographer on Instagram. Honestly, it's crazy. His story, he started off buying a camera just to vlog. He's on YouTube. He's a power lifter. He's a former football player as well. And then he had a son, and so he had to stop playing football. But obviously still had that, competitive drive. And so he picked up powerlifting, and one day he just decided, I'm going to hop on YouTube, kind of show my journey. And so he got a vlogging camera. And honestly, next thing led to another. It started off like taking pictures here and there for my bar, and then it led to for Body Art, and he's gotten extremely good with edits on videos, editing. And so now he's like our main content creator, and he's, kind of doing his thing personally, helping out the businesses. And then he actually is currently in Chicago at the national powerlifting meet right now. People are like flying him out and having him do video shoots and all sorts of stuff like that. So he's doing his thing right now for sure.
Yeah, with obviously everything going online nowadays, that's either a big thing for most companies. It's either do or die. Get into social media. I think that's something you guys have done very effectively. So if you want to talk about that.
For sure. For me, I would say like social media has definitely been a key part of, I guess, my business journey. So when I started running this bar was 2018. It was in a location to where the bar just kept recycling between business and business. It was never working. And so I knew it's going to take a lot to kind of get the spot rolling. So social media was immediately the first thing I went to, just promoting different deals, promoting, the unique things that we had. And that kind of became my niche, I guess, in this town. And so then I just right away knew to apply that to Body Art. I wanted to make sure that the social media was on point. I wanted to make sure that we're consistent, posting all the time, showing, different faces, showing behind the scenes, showing updates, new stuff that's coming out. And I personally think a lot of people enjoy that. And I think that it's an easy way to kind of stay in front of your consumer. So that, it's not always salesy. It's not always, oh, come buy my stuff or come do this, come do that. But when you're seeing it all the time in different manners, it's kind of staying on your brain at all times.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I've definitely, heard just me browsing around on your Instagram. I definitely looked a lot into your bar, and it looks like you guys are doing absolutely fabulous. You guys look like you're packed every weekend, all 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday of the weekend. You guys look like you guys are banging it out. So
Appreciate it, man. Definitely trying to. We've come a long way for sure.
yeah, we are heavyweight nation. So I've heard you have some bagging wings at the bar too.
The wings are fire, man. I'm not gonna lie. Thursday, 60 cents. We'll get you guys out here sometime, and we'll
That
take you to the
sounds
fight.
like a plan, man. Hey,
This summer, I'll get you guys out here.
yes, sir. That sounds like a plan. But other than this, we could touch a little bit about your career. What was that like for you being a Division II football player? Both of us are Division II wrestlers, so we haven't really talked to a lot of guys who played college level football. A lot of the guys we talked to, how to make that decision in life to either wrestle in college or play football. So what was that like for you playing at a pretty well-known Division II college? Like
it's funny
cool
you say that too. Yeah, it's funny you say that because I actually had to. I shouldn't say I had to, but I did make that decision at some point in my career. So out of high school, I was a 3-sport athlete. I played football, basketball, ran track. I knew by the time I was a junior that I wanted to play football and run track, and that was going to happen wherever I went. I was going to do both. So unfortunately that weeded out a lot of the bigger schools that were looking at me. It was like, pick one or the other, can't do both. And so I had a handful of offers from schools that were going to allow me to do both. And so I chose St. Cloud State originally in Minnesota as well. So I went there to play football and run track. And after the spring of my sophomore year, they cut our track program along with like 6 other sports for budgetary reasons. And so I had to decide, was I going to stay at St. Cloud and just play football, or was I going to transfer somewhere else to do both? So I decided to transfer to MSU. They recruited me out of high school as well. Went there to continue doing both. Did both my junior year. And then in spring ball during my junior year, things really weren't working the way that I kind of anticipated in terms of being a dual sport athlete. It wasn't as common at MSU. And for the ones that did, they were definitely like football first type guys, whereas I was truly a 50-50, trying to excel at both. And so my situation was a little bit different. And so I wasn't necessarily running the times that I wanted to be running or knew that I could be running. So during spring ball of my junior year, I decided to step away from football and then finish out the track season my junior year. And then my senior year, I just ran track the entire time.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a two-way partnership at the end of the day. So I mean, if you want to ask us something, I don't know.
Yeah,
for sure. I guess I know we kind of talked. We talked a little bit on the phone, but you said you jump started this during quarantine, right?
I mean, I started the page in a free period my junior year. It was a meme page.
High school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would just spam post like 30, 40 times a day, just like during class because I was bored. And then people started following me because I didn't think that would happen. I thought maybe get like 100 followers. I just kept going, This was when like a bunch of wrestling pages were getting like made. I think there's only like 1 or 2 left at this point that are actually like decent sized. You just got to like stay with it. I was like, I grew slow at the beginning. I just lasted everybody out. Yeah, I started this podcast just during quarantine because I got bored. I asked him to come on the 3rd episode because I was just getting random followers because nobody good was going to come on, like no Division I athletes. And then I was like, I feel like, but no, like seriously, like, I'm like, I need a co-host for this. And then he's like, all right. And then, 95 episodes later, here we are.
Yeah.
That's dope. Who was your first good wrestler, your big time guy?
Gary.
Yeah. Gary Trump, at the time he was a heavyweight at Ohio State. He is now currently the heavyweight at Oregon State, and he just wrapped up his career. But he was probably the first person. And then after that, it was just kind of like 2 times a week, and then it went to 3 times a week could have a guest, and then 4 times a week. And now we're up to we're at the minimum. We have 7 guests on. We're posting 7 days a week. We're doing double uploads sometimes, and then most of the days we're recording 2 episodes. So, and these are all Olympic level, senior level, D1, D2, D3. Like, I think that's what separates us. And, I always talk about this when I talk to people who are interested in sponsoring us is, they always ask what's different from us to everybody else. And my big thing is we cover every level of wrestling. We talk to high schoolers. We talk to NAIA, D1, D2, D3, NCWA. We don't really discriminate against anybody on that level. We have our first woman guest coming on tomorrow.
So dope.
And she wrestles. She was on the junior Olympic team for Team USA. And she goes to college with me and wrestles on our women's team. So, I mean, we don't discriminate. If you're good and you perform and you get some traction, we're gonna reach out to you. We're gonna try to talk to you. Like we talked to Debo. Debo just won D2 nationals. Talked to Tommy Carter. Oh yeah, he's funny. Probably one of the funniest guests we've had on. Like, I feel like I was laughing most of the time more than we were like actually asking him questions. Right. He just says the most random things. And it was just, we were cracking up. He was a good episode. Yeah, really good episode. Easy to talk to. Oh yeah. But like I said, it's just, we talk to anybody and everybody, we talk to the best of the best, and we talk to kids that are juniors and seniors in high school. Super. It's just, I think that's what separates us is we don't really turn anybody away. Sure. We haven't, had to tell somebody, sorry, you're not at the level to talk to us. Like, nah, we talk to everybody.
That's dope.
And I think that's really good. Also, I think it's just, we have a lot of faith in this. Me and him, we talk we talk 7 days a week, probably 4 or 5 hours a day, whether it be us, just talking, or we're playing Rocket League, or we're recording, or, he's teaching me how to edit, he's teaching me how to edit and how to make thumbnails, or he's, I appreciate him a lot because he helps me so much with, because I'm trying to help him, and for me to help him do a lot of this stuff, because I have to give most of the credit to him. He's the brains and the backbone of all this. And, now I'm trying to learn how to like do the edits and do the thumbnails, and I'm doing more of the business side where I'm reaching out to companies and I'm reaching out to all of our guests, and, I'm scheduling, and I make the schedule for every week, our 7-day schedule. And that's something new. So now we stay super organized. We have a 7-day schedule. We put names in, school, time, and then we type up like a short, couple lines, and then like a stat sheet on what they did in college. So, I think I'm definitely here to just make his job a little easier and make it run smoother. And then also at the same time, do more of the pages like business side. And I handle like talking to people about that and scheduling. And I think, because to be honest, if he had to do all that, I really don't think he would sleep. Like, it would be impossible to do all that in a 24-hour day, because he barely sleeps now. And he doesn't do the business side, or he doesn't send the invitations out. So, I think as this goes on, I'm definitely going to learn how to help him more, and how to like actually like, move forward, and, the editing and the making the TikToks and doing all that. But, I can't like sit here and be like, oh, I do 50-50, because it's definitely 80-20, 70-30 split between the both of us. He takes the hit on the workload, but no, I just think a lot of people appreciate what we do. We get a lot of really good feedback from fans, whether it's a comment on a post or direct message, or, we take a lot of questions from our fans. We try to communicate with them as much as we can. At the rate we've grown, especially on TikTok was big. When we first started doing this together, we didn't even have a TikTok. And then, that just popped up, and, within a year, right? Was it a year or shorter we hit 100K?
It was over a year, but it was hard, dude. Like, I think this past 2 weeks, I think I've maybe slept on average like 4 hours a day. But, it's fun. I enjoy doing it. I guess, like, if you tell other people, like, you're a full-time college student, You know, you have to take care of that,
Oh yeah.
you
Oh
know, and
yeah.
then you're trying to run this full time, still try to keep your grades up, working like 18 hours a day. Like it's whatever. But I think social media is something I've been studying since like, and that's crazy to say in itself. Like since I was like 14 and I got an Instagram account, I'm like, oh, how these pages grow, what do they do? Like these small things.
Right.
And like it'll come down to literally like the lighting on a post. Like I've looked
Sure.
that much in depth. Like
The
it's
way,
insane
the
to
way to
see
grow
how this
though.
goes. Yeah. And like, you know, you always have people tell you you're not going to succeed, but like I think I've put in so much time to this where like there's no chance that happens. So
Right. 100%. I rock with that mentality a lot.
I
Yeah,
think
like the other day, I was, I don't know what we were doing. We were just sitting there talking. I was like, well, what happens if, we don't get to where we want? And he was like, don't talk like that. Don't ever say that again. He was like, it's gonna happen. He was like, the
Like
amount of
that.
things, he's like, the amount of like time we put in and do everything. He's like, there ain't no way this doesn't succeed.
Yeah.
And
Can't-
and to be quite honest, right now where we're at, we've strived to where people have dreamed of being at the
100%.
level we're at right now.
100%.
Social media wise, having 40,000 followers on Instagram and 100K on TikTok, like people have been working years, way more years than we have to get to that level, and they haven't.
Yeah,
So
that's legit. It's super legit. I
yeah,
was looking back.
I think you got to know too, because you had to work to get out, to start the bar and do this, and I'm sure you had in the beginning you had the sleepless nights and the late
Yeah.
night, and I'm sure
Dude, I'm telling you, staying up till 2 a.m. 7 days a week in a bar with nobody in there, but you got to do it for people to eventually come in there. Tough.
that has to be like horrible, just sitting there at 2:00, like.
And on like a Sunday, knowing nobody's walking in the door, but you got to do it because if you close early, you're just known as a spot that closes early. You know what I mean?
that's what it is. I think like, 99% of people give up at that phase, right? I think again, like I've seen it firsthand. Obviously, it's two different things with what we're doing. Like I was running an Instagram page, but I always had this vision because I know these pages are profitable in the long run, right? Some people start off at YouTube, build an Instagram off of that, build TikTok off of that. Some people start different routes, right? Start an
Right.
Instagram page, I'll expand to YouTube, this. And now I'm running Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube. I have my own website and I have to keep track of Discord. And like I have to still micromanage like all these brand deals on the back end, which I think he's been good at helping me with. So it's definitely fun, but like you just learn to love it. It's just like kind of a daily routine at this point. It's like I can't go without posting.
It's like organized chaos almost, like in your brain, always just running through.
Yeah. I think
100%.
becoming more efficient at stuff is definitely the biggest thing too.
Yep. Finding
Like,
systems and automation and all that kind of stuff.
yeah. Because you'd be surprised, like what some of these people do, like with just like 3 people. Because what's it called? Joe Rogan only has 3 people on that.
It's nuts.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah, that's part, like you said, just learning every little piece, like studying the game and just trying to figure out the best ways and the best strategies to continue to grow and obviously, optimize that and do it in the most efficient way possible. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Where do you see Heavyweight Nation going? Like, are you on I'm assuming I know the answer, but like from the time you started to now, is this like what you in the in between? Is that the journey that you saw? And then also like, where do you want to go from here?
There's definitely other things that I didn't see. I kind of assumed every brand would just throw us aside, being I was 17 when I started this. Not even 17. I want to say
15.
15, 16. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was 17 when I got to college. Yeah.
Yeah.
But just in general, yeah, I know what I can do with this. And that's the thing that keeps me going. I want to one day, eventually be sitting, having our own podcast studio, with that gold play button sitting behind me.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously you gotta get the silver one first, but that's what keeps me going. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
100%. That's dope.
Plus I'm only 19, so both of us are only 19. So,
The
if this
crazy
fails
part is-
now, like genuinely, like it won't happen. I 100% believe we're gonna make it.
I don't think either of us will let this fail.
Yeah.
It's
that's what it comes down to, man. It's literally just like no matter, because you're gonna take a hit, you're gonna fall down,
Yeah.
you might lose followers, you might mess up a podcast, this or that. But just saying like, all right, we did this. I'm gonna turn around and we're not gonna let that happen again. We're gonna learn from this mistake. We're gonna keep building. That's all it really takes.
Yeah, I
Like you
think.
said though, most people don't
Yeah,
do that. They take the failure and then they just quit.
yeah,
Well, that was like what you said, you moved into a building of a bar that was swapping names and owners, once every 2-3 years. So
There was in the like before, so it was vacant for a year before we took it over, but it was like 4 places in 4 years. Like he was just
yeah, once a year, yeah.
Yeah.
And then that has to be, especially knowing that nobody wanted it because it was vacant for a whole year. So you move into a spot like that, you're
Yeah.
like, okay, like you got to figure out what they did wrong and you got to do everything completely opposite of that.
right. 100%.
Yeah. I like you yourself, you talk about us, working our tail off. You had to, you mentioned it, like the empty bar. You were open to close till 2 a.m. with not a single customer sitting in front of you. It's like, I don't know
crazy.
mentally if I could do that. Like that has to be probably some of the and you're losing money at that point, just keeping it open.
Right. Yeah, it's tough. It was like we always were pretty good from the food aspect. Like lunches were okay, dinners were okay, but it's like the in between, like then we started breakfast and then like breakfast on the weekends. The first few months, there's like nobody in there. They didn't even know we had breakfast. And now it's like, how do we let them know? How do we get them in there? How do we execute the food so they come back? How do we make the experience fun so they want to keep coming? But yeah, I remember like from just like a late night college kid perspective, like I remember when we first started, we didn't have bouncers. We had one bartender just standing in there with like 4 people at the bar. And now if we didn't have a bouncer, it'd be going nuts. So we have multiple bouncers, multiple bartenders. It's a packed bar, but like every now and then I'll just stop and I'll just like stare in the crowd. I'm like, this is crazy because 2-3 years ago, completely empty. Like it took 10 minutes to clean up. Now it takes 2.5 hours to clean up.
no, it's honestly crazy. Like knowing like where you came from, just in general. Like you look at some of these, like I won't say like YouTube channels because that's like the most relatable thing for me. Obviously I've been watching since I was like 10 years old. Like when the platform came out,
Right.
you see these channels like where they started, and you see like where some of them are now, right? It's like actually insane.
Right. Yeah, I watch a handful of YouTubers as well, and it's to me that's the best part about watching YouTube is watching them storytell and watching the progress and like just seeing the humble beginnings that some people start from. Because I think like it's easy to see the flashy stuff. It's easy to see the content that makes people seem like they're living this lavish lifestyle, or that they've always been living that lifestyle. And it's like you got to really go back and see how did they get there, and then you know what I mean, watch them build that, and you have a whole nother level of respect for it.
Yeah, no, I think I watched a video, it was like of Brian Shaw talking about like before he did the whole strongman thing, that he was like, I don't know if it was in high school or when he was in college, but he was drinking Danimals with olive oil in them because that was all he could afford to try to get big and like bulk and like obviously like try to help him get to that level. And now he's a multi-millionaire running businesses and supplements and a YouTube channel with a ton of followers. And now I don't know if he's still competing at World's Strongest Man, but
yeah, he's like the only one.
Yeah, to get
everybody
to
else
level,
transitioned out.
yeah.
That's again, stay the course. Results come. Thor left, Eddie left. They took one dip because they knew they couldn't win it again.
Right.
It's insane. So what you asked us, but we'll ask you, where do you see yourselves in, and your bar and your supplement company, where do you see yourselves in the next 5 years?
Man, 5 years is a long time. Well, in terms of body art, in 5 years, I would love to have a strong name for ourselves. Ideally across the country. Like I said, we have a strong presence in athletics, and I would say in the fitness industry, we have a pretty decent kind of hold on that market as well. With my brother being a bodybuilder, I competed in a power lifter. I competed in a bodybuilding competition this past summer and was able to network and kind of in that space a little bit. And I would say our reach it's definitely something to our advantage. And then when it just comes down to like the marketing and just getting the product in front of people, showing them what we have and why it's beneficial will go a long way. So I see ourselves in 5 years doing some really good things and having a strong print on the industry or on the market. I would love to have in 5 years like a full line of supplements with a full line of flavors per supplement. I'm talking vegan protein, mass gainers, multivitamins, like the whole deal. In 5 years, I would love to make that happen. I think the most important part for that is strategically doing it and not rushing. I find myself very often with body art trying to push for the next thing because that's just kind of like always what I've done. But now knowing that it's so new and it's an industry where the stuff is not cheap, just managing cash flow and making sure everything is happening strategically and making sure I'm not kind of pushing myself faster than the brand is ready to move.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a big thing in your guys' industry. I think looking at the packaging right here,
Yeah.
it's simple, effective, gets the job done. It's about what's in it rather than what it looks like. Obviously it depends on your course. I think a company that's doing it really good right now over TikTok, as much the fitness community has been trending there, is Rise. They've gotten all these affiliates with them and they do it very well. Obviously they've had their little setbacks with having to recall some products after mishaps, which is again thing that can slander your name a bit. It's not a good thing to have to deal with. I think being patient's good. And if you look at the development of some of these companies, like I don't even know this, but like Gymshark, where they started, one of the smallest brands, right? All you have to do is take the blueprint that they had, right? They started at a point where you don't have to start from. Yeah. But now if you want to catch up, you have to do it better.
The free game is out there 100%.
Yeah, you just got to improvise and adapt. That's really it. On TikTok, it's just about, if you're not grown, post more content. That's really it.
100%.
Not everybody's, I'm pretty sure you've seen him on TikTok, Noel.
Yeah.
Dude's massive, got these 4K cameras on him, perfect lighting, people editing his videos. And he can talk about whatever he wants and he'll pull in hundreds of thousands of likes. Like, I remember I wasn't even big into this stuff. Like, I was purely focused on wrestling. I was creating like 20, 30 videos a day, getting like 1,000 likes. And I see one of him just talking about like reiterated points. But it's not because he had no knowledge to spread. It's because he knew how to game the system.
Right.
And it's honestly just incredible looking back at it.
Honestly, though. Yeah, I guess for the other part of your question, when it comes to the bar in 5 years, honestly, in 5 years, I don't see myself in Mankato anymore. And so I ideally would like to move to somewhere warm and open up multiple bars, whether that's all in the same city or different cities. I really found a passion for the restaurant industry. And that's kind of like what I always thought my main career was going to be. And then Body Art came along and now it's kind of like growing them together. And so obviously Body Art is, a primarily e-commerce based business. And so it's not easy, but it's a little bit more convenient to try to grow that with a physical brand as well, as opposed to trying to do two physical things at the same time. And so, like I said, I'll move somewhere warm, open up my first bar and, hopefully get that up and running, start delegating and, move on to the next one. I don't by any means want like dozens of things that I'm not really playing a hand in anymore. Because I enjoy the day-to-day, I enjoy the marketing, I enjoy the building of it. And so I would truly like to kind of do one, put all my time and effort into it, grow it to where it needs to be self-sustaining, kind of move on to the next one that way.
Yeah, 100%. So, obviously when the time comes, 5 years, for you, I think, were you 25?
I'll be 30 in 5 years. I don't want to talk about 5 years.
you're only gonna be 30. I think people look at that very negatively. Like, life is long. Like you have time. Like, I think, but what you have to realize is like most people don't start at 25. Most people start a lot later once they've already had this income coming in. I started at
Right.
17. Those 3 years, like when they say compound interest, is kind of the same thing like that,
100.
right? But at the end of the day, I've had so many ventures before Heavyweight Nation. I want to say I've ran a bunch of meme pages. I think a couple hit 100,000. They got banned. I've always tried to restart. You can sell ads for $5, just post like 20,
Yeah.
30 of them a day. But I always found this is something I'm more passionate about. So if it comes down to it, you can't really stay in the bar and the supplement company at the same time. Which do you see yourself going with if you had to choose?
So to answer your question, I guess what I would see kind of similar to like how you answered, like where it's never not going to work just because you're not going to let it not work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so for me, if that were to happen to where I had to pick one, it would be based on not having enough time to like allocate to the business to keep it where it's at, keep it succeeding, keep it growing. And so in that case, I think what I would do is I would probably sell body art to my brother, or both of my brothers. I have two brothers. Let them run it. That way I can still see it. I can still trust where it's going to go. Know that it's in good hands. And then I would focus on the restaurant. I could still support body art. I could still watch body art and follow its journey and that kind of thing. So if that were to take place, that's how I would see that happening.
Yeah. I don't know why I asked that question. I think that's just something I've been thinking about a bit because,
Sure.
I've been doing everything in this. First it was just Derek helping out with the podcast. Now he helps out with like the actual page and like the monetization part of it. There's going to come a point where it's like, Sports Center was ran by one guy. Now it's ran by a team of 20 guys. I want to say his name's Omar. He doesn't really have a say in what happens anymore. He's just kind of stepped out of it. And I don't know, like I've had opportunities to, I could definitely get people to make content for me and that, but I don't know if I want to. Like that's kind of the big thing that's kept me in it, like being so hands-on.
I definitely think that we've talked about it. I think like eventually we'd like to, in the probably the near future, not even 5 years, probably in the next year or so, work on getting an editor so that, that takes the load off of him of editing all the TikToks and editing these videos and doing all that. I think that would probably be like our next really big thing would be to get an editor so that, the videos get outsourced to somebody and they get, us looking at them and, an editor going over them to, take out any times, that aren't really smooth. And then obviously, we talked about, just upgrading our equipment, getting some nice microphones, some nice cameras, some nice lighting so that, this really looks, really professional. I think that's going to come probably even sooner than the editor. Well, that stuff will come. So, we have a lot of like just small goals. And I think when we hit the small goals, that's when the big goals are going to come with it. When we upgrade all of our equipment and we, the videos start turning out to be, really, really crisp and really good. And, then we're going to have well edited videos that are really good looking and, an editor to take, the load off of him so that he gets to sleep at night. It doesn't have to stay up till 3-4 o'clock in the morning. So, yeah, no, I definitely think that's what we're going to be. We pretty much, I think me and him, we have a good relationship. We're really good friends. As much as we fight and bicker with each other, at the end of the day, I could always call him. He could always call me if anything's up. And, I don't know. I definitely think this could be a next level type of thing, to evolve to that.
You guys are spot on for sure. I mean, like the biggest thing is, is really just building it until you reach that capacity to where, your manpower is holding you back. You know what I mean? By not creating a team, by not outsourcing here and there and delegating, you're putting a ceiling on where you guys can go. But the issue with so many people is that they're trying to do that before they get to that point. And I think you guys did a great job. Like you guys, I scrolled all the way back to like your humble beginnings and watching like the growth started taking off. Like I think I was watching your Instagram and kind of clicking through the stories and stuff, and you guys gained like 14,000 followers in like 7 months or something. And I was like, that's nuts. Like, that's just pure grind. You know what I mean? And so now once you get to that point, you're like, okay, like I'm putting everything I can into this. The only way for our growth to continue is to, get help. And I think you guys are really close to that.
Yeah, 100%. I think, I've always wondered what I want to do with this. I think a news platform is definitely my goal. I think the podcast is just something, to have as a show, right? If we we can always just do one a day, right? And then we're obviously supplementing that with clips. You can't say like say in a if we do an episode a day for a year, that's 365 videos, right? Each of them has 3 clips. That's about 1,200 videos in total. Can't say we're not hitting 100,000 subs.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm just trying to prove that to myself or
No, I'm right there with you, man. It's like you said from the beginning. It's all about consistency. It's all about staying the course and not stopping. Because so many people, they'll get to a point whether it's too hard, annoying. The days that I know for a fact you guys have days where you're just like, man, I really just want to take a nap, or I want to just not do something different than this. Like just get a mental break for those days where you just keep pushing through. It'll pay off, man. It'll definitely.
I think we've been really good at that. Even the last 2 weeks is Saturday has been like our day where we try to keep that open so that we could both just do a day where we don't got to worry about getting on and recording. We talk on the phone about what we got to do. And then, he goes off and does his thing. I go off and do my thing. And then, we get back, together and we film a video for Sunday. And that Sunday video is always good because that video carries over to Monday. Because, we schedule everything up right. So we try to have a day for ourselves where, it's just, we don't got to record. We could just kind of chill, edit a couple TikToks, do whatever, post those, post a couple times on the Instagram. But we don't have to worry about, which this does take up the bulk of the time is recording these, sitting down, talking for, all this time. Then he goes through and he makes the thumbnail and he, through the video to make sure that everything flows good. He cuts and clips stuff out if we have to, know. And
that's honestly though, that's the most important thing, that what you just said right there that I think is going to allow you guys to succeed is taking that Saturday and allowing yourself to just do something different, because it's allowing you to come back refreshed, focused. And what I found for myself is a lot of times when I kind of, carve out that time to walk away, that's when like the creative juices get flowing, when you can kind of step away from like, oh, we should do this or we can do that. Yeah. Then you come back and now you're firing on all cylinders, Yeah,
it'll be like Saturday, like at nighttime, like I'll be laying in bed, like about to go to sleep. He'll call me and he'll be like, reach out to this person. I really think this video would go well. I like this person. Or he'll be like, we need to make this video because this video will really do well. I'm like, okay, like let's roll with it. Let's run it.
It'll be like 4 a.m. also, just randomly.
Yeah, 4 in the morning. My phone's ringing. I'm like, hello, like what are you like? What's up?
I swear, like my notes on my phone, I don't even know how many I have. Like literally every time I think of something, let me write this down so I don't forget. Just like I'll get back to it eventually, and when it's time for it to work, it'll work. But I know this will work, kind of a thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you guys are ready to do it, I think we should talk about what we're working for, what we're working with here. We've hinted at it a couple times in the video.
Before we say anything, should I clip this and put it on the Instagram?
Yeah.
So somebody start off say like, oh, we have a big announcement, and just get right into it.
Yeah. Or you want to do it, Isaiah, or you want me to do it?
Got a big dog, that's all you.
All right.
Let the people know.
What time is it recording wise? So I'll text
43.
43. Okay, I got you. All right. So I think it's time we finally announce the big announcement that we have here. While Isaiah's here, the head honcho of Body Armor. I'd like to let everybody know we're going to start a tournament, wrestling tournament style bracket, where we're going to get you guys, our fans, to vote on flavors for the own custom Body Art Nutrition all black tub heavyweight nation pre-workout. Isaiah blessed us with the opportunity. We're going to create our own flavor so that you guys get to talk to us about what you want in a product, a flavor pre-workout. Maybe you can't, find that often, or one you like from a different brand that you're interested in trying from somebody else. So that's going to be up to you guys. So along with their own pink lemonade and strawberry daiquiri flavors, we're going to have our own heavyweight nation flavor protein, a pre-workout, not protein. So
it's funny that you say that though. It's funny you say that. I think that the pre-workout is going to go over really well, especially with allowing them to have an opinion and a say in what we create and the flavors that's going to go in there. And so in my mind, it's already been rolling. I would love to do a full line of heavyweight nation supplements, man, like your own flavor of protein. Get to the point where we have a mass gainer, non-stim, maybe an energy drink someday. Like just go all in on like your full line of supplements, have your own labels that are completely different than ours. And obviously I think that this pre-workout will kind of jumpstart that. I'm excited about it.
I'm just thinking about like Prime Hydration by Logan Paul and KSI. I'm thinking about that. Like it's crazy. Like I know they get like a lot of a bad rep because of like what they do, but they've used social media so well. They're gonna hit like $1 billion businesses just off of social media itself.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, and like what did it start off? Logan Paul started off making videos as like a 14-year-old on Vine.
Yeah, man.
That's crazy.
It's nuts. It's
I
nuts.
want to say he runs the second biggest podcast in the world now,
Oh, well.
behind Rogan probably.
Yeah, he is. Statistically, yeah, he has the second biggest podcast in the United States.
That's actually insane.
It's nice.
And he's edging. He's close to Rogan. He's not too far away from Rogan.
Oh, but that Rogan has like 1,800 episodes out.
Yeah. Well, in that sense, no, but in the like the viewership sense, he's right there to Rogan.
Yeah, because he's a celebrity. Like,
Yeah.
it's insane to think about. I wish we can get. We'll get there one
But-
day, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
That's what it's all about, man.
yeah, this is huge for us. We were very excited. We're gonna start working with you guys and your team, and we're gonna start working with that pretty soon, actually. To
Yep.
get this out, get this in production.
Yep, I got 4 flavors right here that we've been testing. And just trying to test the waters on the formula. I tried it for the first time today for my workout, and man, it's legit. The formula's there. Now we're just gonna we're gonna wait and see, what the people want flavor wise, and get creating on the label, throw that in production and get that to the people ASAP. But it's legit. It's a good ass pre-workout.
Yep. So are we wrapping it up or?
Yeah, well, I think it's time. We have to ask. We ask every guest we've had on. We like to ask them questions that non-podcast related questions we like to ask. So I don't know if yours, Akil, really fits in with this podcast.
Just
all right,
start with
so
the last.
number
Just start with the last two. Yeah.
We'll ask you this question. We're Heavyweight Nation, big fans of food over here. So what's your number one selling and your favorite food item at the bar? What's the go-to? What's everybody taking?
Easy. Okay, so for my favorite,
Yeah.
it's gonna be. That's not so easy. My favorite, I think I'm gonna go with our garlic parmesan wings, and I'm doing all flats because I'm a flat guy.
Yeah.
Our wings are incredible, but the number one selling is hands down the home wrecker, which is a steak Philly with mac and cheese loaded on top. It's like smothered in mac, and it's like our home wrecker has sold leaps and bounds like above any other food item, like more than cheese curds, French fries, burger sliders, like not easily number one.
Okay, so now the big question: ranch or blue cheese?
Ranch, easy. Blue cheese, keep it away from me. I'm
agree.
good.
Really?
I'm good on the blue cheese.
I mean, I think it depends what it's on.
See, but to be fair, I'm a pretty picky eater. Like, there's gonna be a lot of things.
So I can't really say anything.
I'll do blazing wings at Buffalo Wild Wings, like just for the hell of it. Yeah.
I also don't do hot food. I don't do hot. I did the 1 chip challenge with my brothers like probably a year ago now. I was dying. Like, I was like scratching my tongue. It hurt so bad.
I did that one. I remember I drank like 6 glasses of milk and I was like throwing up afterwards.
Yeah. I think we each chugged a gallon of milk, and yeah, like you said, throwing up afterwards, and it's just as hot coming up as it was going down.
You just gotta like sit there in silence, like numb yourself to the pain.
We were rubbing ice on the tongue. We were doing all sorts of stuff.
All right, Derek.
And
I
then,
don't know
all
if
right,
this goes, but you can ask.
we'll make it work. So you talk about you run Body Armor, you run the bar. So we'll combine the two businesses. We'll lower it down. You could take two of your employees, whether they're at Body Art or they're at the bar. to take with you in the zombie apocalypse. Who are you taking and why?
I gotta roll with my brothers, man. Both of my brothers work at the bar.
All right.
Easy when they're rolling with me. Those are my soldiers.
All right, Isaiah, we appreciate it. We very, obviously we're very thankful. You're the first company we partnered with, and you kind of proved to us that we're able to actually reach out to companies and reach out to businesses, and you've definitely helped with our confidence, especially mine. Talking to these businesses. So I want to thank you. We definitely appreciate you a lot on our page for believing in us. So
Likewise, it's gonna be a good partnership in the future.
Yeah, for sure. For the long run. So thank you guys for watching. This has been Heavyweight Nation show.
Yeah.
I want to say. Yeah. All right, we'll catch you guys again next time.